Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Kate's clothing haul, mainly with some Killstar things. So if you would like to hear a bit more about Kate's clothing and see some Killstar reviews, then do keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe. I've got loads and loads of clothing hauls on my channel and I've got quite a few more to come as well. I will get straight into the video. So I've got 3 things to show you today. I have 2 things from Killstar and 1 thing from, I think it's Gothic Gifts or something like that. I also have a code for you for Kate's clothing. So the code is simply _spooky. I'll put it on the screen for you here and it will get you 20% off your order, which is a really good deal. And if you have already used my code, I think you can use it again because it was 30%, but Kate's dropped it down to 20. So you should be able to use it again if you've already used it for the 30. But if not, Heavy Metal Mama also has a code, so make sure to save some money. That is an affiliate link, so I do get a percentage of that sale back, just to be transparent, but yeah, it does help me out. And that can be used across anything on Kate's clothing, whether you like Punk Rave, Killstar, Radioactive Unicorn, loads and loads of different brands that they do. It happened again. I bought another pair of shoes. I shouldn't have, I really shouldn't have, but this pair of shoes, when they released, I just knew that I was at some point going to get them. So Killstar actually bought this pair of shoes out when I was waiting for the other 2 pairs of shoes to arrive that I previously ordered. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it in the eye for you, but I did haul the Limelight boots and the Wednesday platform shoes. So if you're looking for some kind of first impressions and like what they look like on, I do have that. So yeah, do go and check out that video. But this pair released when I was waiting for them and I was like, oh no. Because I just feel like these shoes were made for me. So they do arrive in this Killstar box. I really like these boxes because the print inside is really pretty. It's got all of these like crystals inside. I just think they're really nice boxes. And also, which I was really happy about, is the other 2 pairs of shoes I got, because the platform is literally like this big, the box was massive. Like, I think the other one was double the size of this box. Like, it was huge, and they're really difficult to store. Like, I've literally got them sat under a table hidden away, but this is a much better size of shoe box, so I think this will be easier to kind of fit somewhere in my room, but that did just make it a little bit easier. And the actual boots are the Killstar Dark Sin boots, and I got them in a size 4. So in all of my reviews I will go through like the quality, the sizing, I'll have a try on of each thing after I have talked about it, and also just like the details and everything. I just I just needed them. Like, these are so cool. Now, I did overuse the word cool in my last video, so I'm gonna try and not use that as much. But these are just, I mean, look at them. I talked about this in my last haul, but if you haven't seen that and you're looking for kind of these in particular, then I did mention in that haul that I've been very skeptical of Killstar shoes. I won't buy the creepers and I won't buy anything with those like horrible foam soles. I can't stand them. But I do have the Killstar Cosmic soles ankle boots, and I've had them for over a year. I've worn them to London, to like day out trips, and they're so comfortable, and that's what kind of gave me the confidence to buy some of their other shoes, because I had such a good experience with those. Overall, I have had positive experiences, but I think I have been quite picky with the shoes that I have bought from Killstar. But I thought these would be good because, again, they're not like those horrible foam soles and they're not too high of a heel, so I feel like these will be a lot easier to wear for kind of every day. And also they just look like 80s goth winkle pickers. They are a bit different, especially with like the heel, but I just absolutely love these. Like, they were literally sitting on my floor, and every time I'd come in and look at them in my room, I'd be like, oh my gosh. The details of these are, they're higher than an ankle boot. I feel like an ankle boot would be like this, so they do go up your leg a little bit more. They are made of a patent like fake leather, so they are probably a little bit more stiff than other fake leathers, I would say. Like, they're not as soft. They do have a heel. Now, apparently this heel is about 5 or 6 centimeters, and then it does obviously go down a little bit towards the front there, and this feels like a really good quality. It almost looks like a wood effect, and it does feel quite like sturdy. And the bottoms of the shoes are they don't have grip, as you can see, but I do feel like that's a very common thing with winkle pickers. My underground winkle pickers have like no grip whatsoever here. These do have some slight lines, but I think you would want to be careful if you were walking. I mean, I wouldn't recommend these in the snow, but maybe like slippery floors. You can see they've got some texture, which is more than my underground winkle pickers have, and they do have a bit more texturing on the heel here. So these are actually pointy, but you can see they're kind of squared off a little bit. So they actually have this like metal kind of toe cap looking thing. I'll show you up close, but it's like a gunmetal kind of colour, maybe a bit darker, and it goes across here, and then you've got it at either side. It's got like loads of different things like all down here. So you've got laces that you can adjust. You can kind of see them poking out here, so you can really get it to fit your feet really well. The shoe also has 2 buckles, which I really like. I think the buckles really finish it off and can bring it in quite tight around the ankles, which I like. It gives it a more like flattering look. But you don't have to do this every time you put the shoe on, which I really like, because there is a side zip. This is probably, again, a feature not used in winkle pickers, which I'm glad is in like more modern winkle pickers, or winkle picker inspired shoes. But it does have this really nice Killstar zip that goes all the way down, so you can kind of get them to fit your feet really well, do up the buckles, and then you can just put them on with a zip. On the back of the shoe, it has this bat wing effect, which I think is really cool. If you see there, like it kind of goes up at the back. I think that's a nice detail. And then the kind of last thing that really sold these shoes to me, and it's such like a simple thing, but I love it when like winkle picker shoes do this, is they actually go up at an angle and almost have like a point at the back, which I really like. I really like this detail. So overall, I think these look really 80s, really like winkle picker inspired, but very flattering at the same time. I used to have a pair of Gothpikes. Gothpikes were a German brand, I believe, and they actually handmade winkle picker in the way that they used to be made in the 80s, with maybe like a few improvements. And I bought a pair from Gothpikes before they like shut down, because now there's like, it's really difficult to get winkle pickers now, because like the companies just don't exist. So I managed to get some before they shut down, and they were patent leather like this, and they had a zip up the front, and then they had 4 buckles with bat wing buckles. I'll put a photo in if I have one. I think I do, because I did like a photo shoot with a friend in them. But they just looked so cool. Like I just loved looking at them. Like they were really aesthetically pleasing, but in reality they were a little bit big for me, even though I got them in the right size. I had to put insoles in them. They just weren't very comfortable. The pointy bit of like the toe, that's like the winkle picker part of it, was so long that it was really awkward to get upstairs, because it was almost like dragging and I felt like I was going to trip. They were also so flat, and that's why they were really uncomfortable, because your foot needs to have like a little bit of an angle to be more comfortable, and they were just so flat. Like they had no heel on them. And also the back of them, I really like how this kind of goes in and it really like shapes your ankle. I think this looks really flattering. My Gothpikes were literally like that. Like they started here and then they went straight down, so they just weren't the most flattering pair of shoes. And I liked how they looked like on and how they looked from afar. Like they looked really nice, but wearing them it just wasn't very comfortable, and you also had to do up the zip and the back buckles, and it just took forever. So that's why I really appreciate the side zip on these. I also found a photo of some Gothpikes that really look like these, the lacing and the buckles. I'll put a photo in. So I think that's why I liked these so much, and I've also seen a lot of winkle pickers do this, so I definitely think it has a lot of winkle picker elements. But yeah, so that's all the details, and that's why I picked these, because I just love these styles of shoes. I love shiny leather. I would prefer if they were leather, which I've talked about in a few different videos. I have tried these on and they fit me perfectly. So I have the Cosmic Soles ankle boots in a 4, and I usually wear like thick thermal socks with them because they are more of like a wintry boot, so they fit me well but with thick socks. Then I bought the Limelight boots in a 3, and they're actually a bit big. Like, again, I could wear them easily with thermal socks. And then the Wednesday shoes are in a 4 and they fit me perfectly. I don't think I could wear thick socks with them. They're more of like tights or thin socks. So I'd say the Wednesday shoes fit me better overall, and I got them in a 4. And these are a very similar fit to the Wednesday shoes. They are more narrow. Again, classic winkle pickers. They are usually for more narrow feet. I don't think these would be good for wide feet. You might have to size up. But I feel like these fit me really, really well. But yeah, you can like adjust this bit obviously, but they are very narrow kind of shoes. So that would be the only thing if you've got like wider feet or you're worried about the sizing. I would say that they are definitely more of a narrow fit or true to size. I wasn't originally crazy about this, if I'm honest, but I actually quite like it. So I do like that pointy winkle picker look, so I wasn't crazy that they squared this off, but I do really like it. And something I also really appreciate is how thick this sole is, because I have had to take my underground winkle pickers to Timpson's probably about 4 times, because when you wear shoes that have like the pointy end, this wears down like crazy. And my underground boots, like, it started to wear away at the top bit because the sole was so bad. So I really like how thick this piece of sole is here. I think that's a really good design for these shoes, and I think having this piece of metal just protects the shoe even more. So I think that's actually really clever in design. The only thing is, I was a bit worried because when you press this down, I don't know if you can hear that, but this isn't actually glued to this. My finger is actually going underneath here, but I think what they've done is glued it at the end. I haven't glued it here, so when you walk it doesn't risk bending and then coming off. I think that's why they've done that. Because I also watched Heavy Metal Mama's review of these boots, but they do them in like normal fake leather, like the non jet black shiny ones. So do go and watch Heavy Metal Mama's review, because I did watch that before I went to purchase these. And she was worried about the same thing, but she said that hers were absolutely fine. Something she mentioned, and I thought I'd mention it too, but I personally didn't have any problems, is she mentioned, along with other reviews of these boots on the Killstar website, is that the buckles don't have enough holes and they don't go round a lot of people's calves. So if you are a bit bigger or you have wider calves, I think these might be a struggle for you. However, on this buckle, I have them on the tightest one, and then on this one I have them on the second one, so it's not an issue for me. And I am a UK like 8 to 10, and I do have, I guess, average, maybe skinnier ankles. So that's something to mention if you are a bit larger or you have like wider ankles or anything like that. I guess that would be the only thing, but as I said, for me, I didn't have any issues, and I do like how tight they do go around the ankle, because I just think it brings them in and makes them look really flattering. But you could also add some extra buckle holes here. But yeah, so that's sizing. I do think they are true to size. I might wear them today because I have just been looking at them and I really want to wear them, so I might wear them today. Quality wise, they feel nice. Like, they have a nice weight to them, but they're not super heavy like the platform shoes, but they don't feel super light that they feel cheap. They just feel like a nice weight. There's nothing that I can see that's like a defect or anything. I'm just really happy with them and I can't wait to wear them. I'd say they might rub here, like across here, I can feel is quite tight, but again, it's this material is stiffer than like a normal soft fake leather. So that would be my only concern with these, but I just can't wait to wear them. They just look so cool. And this is what they look like together. I love how shiny they are, and I also love this material because it's like jet black. Like normal fake leather is like dark, but this is like a whole other level of black. So yeah, that is the Dark Sin Boots. Wear them enough within like an amount of time, I would like to do a review. I'm also thinking of doing a review for my underground winkle pickers, so let me know if you would like that. But yeah, so that was the Dark Sin Boots. Now they originally cost 106 or 109, I want to say, but because I used Heavy Metal Mama's code, I got them for 88, and I also took off some money with points, I think about £5, so I did get a little bit of money off of them. And I did want to get them from Kate's Clothing because I know she only usually has like one size of each, and if there was any problems I know I could have free returns, so that's why I always prefer to buy my Killstar stuff from Kate's Clothing if she has the stuff that I'm after. I'll break it up with a homeware item. So I saw this mug on the website and I just thought this was so me. I know that I have too many mugs, so I've actually sold my Killstar like Blood is the Life one because it was so big, I just wasn't using it for anything. I really liked the look of it, but realistically I think I've only used it once or twice because it is so big, and you can't microwave it and it just has all this stuff. So when I saw this one I was like, this is perfect because you can put it in the dishwasher, you can microwave it, and it's an actual decent size mug where you can actually use it. So this is called the My Blood Type is Coffee ceramic mug. This one was, I want to say, $11.99, but again I got 20% off. I love this mug. It's like an orb, like it's kind of round looking, and I just love it. Now I've done this haul, I can actually use it for my coffee tomorrow. So this says my blood type is coffee, in this kind of swirly writing, and it is on both sides, which I really like. I like that there's a blood drop, there's bats everywhere. I love the colours of this one. It also has a red handle, like a blood red handle, and it's blood red inside as well. I just really love this mug. It's food safe, I would hope so, dishwasher safe and microwave safe, because I find that although I have so many mugs, although I have really cut down, I think I sold a third of them a while ago because it was too much. But a lot of my mugs I don't actually use because they're not dishwasher safe, and I know that's silly, but if I'm going to pick something that's dishwasher safe or not dishwasher safe, I always pick the dishwasher safe one because it's so much easier. So this was literally perfect. And the box is really, really nice as well, and it is a ceramic. So yeah, I did get this mug. And the last item was one that I had on my Killstar wish list. I'm actually waiting for the Easter sale because I'm hoping for a good 30% off, because I've got, I think, 4 items, a belt and some clothing that I've had on my radar for a little bit, especially like the Red Velvet collection. This item came up on Kate's Clothing and it was the only thing they had out of the stuff that I really liked. And again, I got 20% off, so it wasn't too bad. But this is called the Killstar MALAPAS Underbust Corset. I got this in a small, which is UK 10, and I honestly expected to send this back. So I've seen this on the model and I couldn't tell if it was flattering or not, whether I'd like it, and I tried it on and I think it's really, really nice. Now I do think this is quite expensive for what it is. It costs £50, which I just think is a lot. Like, it has a lot of detail on it, but I also think they have dresses for 40, so why is this 50? In the end I got it for £39.99, so probably still more than I would have liked to pay. I probably would have wanted to pay about 25 yeah, around 25 or 30 maybe for this, because I don't usually like to spend loads of money on either belts, harnesses, or like corsety things. I did buy it and I really expected to send it back, and I put it on and it's so flattering. I posted about it in the Killstar Facebook group and a lot of people was surprised at how nice it looked. So I don't know if like the model just wore it weird or something, but it's really flattering and I'm really surprised, and I just think it's really nice. So I'll go through the details first, and then I'll talk about like quality and all of that. So it is a kind of underbust corset, I guess, but it almost looks like a thickish belt with some kind of straps. So these are like a really nice thickness. They're not too thin where they feel flimsy, but they're also not too thick where they're uncomfortable. They're just like a really nice thickness. They are adjustable, which honestly I would expect. So they do have 4 different options here. And I do like that they're eyelets, they're not just holes in the leather, because I do feel like that would rip over time. So I do like that they have the metal eyelets. The buckles are nice, they're like small enough where they just add a little bit of detail, but they're not too over the top. And then it's kind of like cut out in like this shape. And then to put it on, you have a zip, and then you also have a buckle. So the zip goes from here to here, and then you have this buckle as well, which has 5 different adjustable options. Again, I like the eyelets, it adds a bit of detail. And then it's straight on the back and pointy at the front, which I think gives like a vampy look. I'm not sure why. It just does. And then it's got the Killstar zip there in like a gunmetal colour, which I think's nice. I like that they've used gunmetal instead of silver. I think it stands out enough without being too obvious. And then as you can see, it's got all of these like rounded stud looking things, again in like a gunmetal colour, which just adds a bit of detail, and they do look like they've been like pressed in properly, which is good. And then the back is plain, which I guess makes it comfy. I've forgotten what I was going to say. There was something else I was going to tag inside of it, and what? Oh yeah. The other thing that I really liked that I didn't expect is it's almost got like a boning effect like a corset does. So I guess that's why it's called a corset, but I'll show you on the back actually, because it's probably a bit easier to see. But it has these strips of material like this, and this actually has boning inside, so it's a bit bendy. Like, it's not too uncomfortable, but it's definitely like really flattering, and I think that's why it looks like really flattering. And it's across the whole corset, so it's got like 2 there, and then another 2 at the side, and then on the front it's got 2 at the side of the zip as well, kind of like this. So it just helps it to keep its shape. It really like brings in your waist, and it just sits really nicely. So I didn't expect that from this. Maybe that's why it's a bit more expensive, because it has a lot going on. So yeah, that's all of the details, and inside it's so soft. So usually when you buy cheapy fake leather things, I have a fake leather dress from Primark. It's just the underside of the leather, and it's not scratchy, but you can just tell there's like no lining. This is the same material as the Hollister skirt and the Hollister corset top that I hauled in my Hollister haul. If you've got no idea what I'm talking about, it's probably not out yet. But I do have a Hollister haul coming. If it is out, I'll link it in the eye. Definitely check it out, you'll be surprised. But yeah, it's got the same material, and it's this really soft, not fleecy, but almost suede, like a really soft suede. And it's just a really nice detail. Like, you can see how soft it is, and that's lined throughout the whole thing, and I just feel like that's another quality thing that's really nice. It's not just like the other side of the leather, which doesn't look very nice. Like, I do like that they've put a lining in here. I would expect it for a £50 corset thing, but you just never know really what you're gonna get. It does have some new sayings on their tags finally, and this tag is so nice. Like, it's a red bat. I feel like they haven't updated these in a really long time, so I just loved this design. But on the other side of this, in the Gothic writing, it says, "We are the masters of our own fate." So it does have a new saying. I love this text as well. I got it in a small and it fits me perfectly. I've had a lot of questions in that group, which I did reply to, if it has stretch. Now, it has a tiny bit of give to it, but I wouldn't call it stretchy. So I guess it's not stretchy as well because of this boning, but each section has like a little bit of give. but you really want to get this to fit you really well to have that flattering effect. I would say go for your normal size, and I'd probably say, because I had also a few questions saying that like their bust is a different size to their waist, I would say get your waist measurement, because it does sit like under the chest. So I'd say your waist measurement is probably the most important. So size wise, I would say it's accurate, but you do want to make sure you get it in the right size for it to have its flattering effect. I also really appreciate with this is I have a lot of things that are adjustable in the straps, and I'm like, okay, great, it's going to be fine. But even if I put it on the tightest thing, it still falls down. I do find that a little bit with the harness, the Killstar one I hauled in my last Killstar haul. It's got like the O-ring on the front of it. You can adjust it with the poppers, but I wish you could just tighten it a little bit more, because I have to keep pulling it down for the straps to stay up on my shoulders. So it's a little bit annoying in that sense, whereas this is perfect. I've actually got it on the second tightest and it stays perfectly, so if I wanted to wear it with a jumper I could bring it down a little bit more, but I just really appreciate this because it actually stays up for once. And then the quality is the last thing to talk about. I'm actually really impressed with the quality of this. Although it's a fake leather, it's a really soft fake leather. The lining inside is really nice. The stitching looks really neat. If I show you inside, like that's really neat stitching. Even when it crosses, like even that isn't too bad. Like there's no loose threads or anything, like a tiny one there. But the stitching on this I think is really nice. See on the front, like I just think it's finished off really well. I think the metal like hardware on here is really nice. I like the boning. So it does have quite a few quality things that I do really like about it. The only thing I would say is I just think it is a little bit expensive for what it is. I feel like £40 should be the starting price. So that would be my only complaint with this, but the rest of it I'm really impressed with it, and I didn't expect to be. I really did expect to send it back, but yeah, so I am really happy with this. Happy with everything, as you could tell, everything fit really well. So yeah, really impressed. Let me know what you thought of these items in the comments below. Don't forget to use my code. My total came to 132 with the money that I got taken off, so I was really happy with that. Do like this video if you enjoyed it, do subscribe if you love fashion hauls, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye.